Hello, and today we're back for round 4 of the F1 2018 Equal Cars Career Mode with Shadionics. And as always, I will be spectating, and he'll be doing the actual driving. So once again, we're just going to go out to track and retire as soon as possible. So yeah, going into this, I think Charles Leclerc has been doing really well. So is Hamilton. But there's also quite a lot of good midfield drivers, and you can see again, it's actually Hamilton versus Alonso now out at the front, with Ricciardo P3, Vettel P4, and Verstappen P5. So this is the top 5 I was probably expecting from the beginning of the season. As you see, they're chopping and changing positions, and Charles Leclerc all the way down in 11th place. So it's not as bad as Valtteri Bottas, but this is probably his lowest position of the last few races. You can see Perez and Gasly also doing quite well again, but Alonso right now looking for a second successive pole. Of course, this guy had really bad luck in the first 2 races, considering he could have actually won in Baku, but then he stormed to victory in Spain, and he's got a point to prove now. He's literally only a few points off the top 3, and yeah, he could move himself into that third or even second position if he gets another win. Because right now Charles Leclerc is struggling, and his championship rival Hamilton is doing pretty well. As Hamilton now moves into the lead, I think he's running a lower aero setup because he managed to overtake Alonso on the straight. Meanwhile, he's teaming Ricciardo and Vettel for P3. So you have the top 5 drivers, basically my top 5 picks to be honest. And Raikkonen's actually falling to 9th. Leclerc's going to probably get 10th in the end. It's all actually very close. So yeah, I mean, everyone's separated by, I think it looked like less than even half a second, but I'll just have to confirm with you there. But you see Ricciardo gets 4th, but yeah, really close qualifying there. And of course, the top 5, probably my predicted top 5 at the beginning of the season. But of course, some of the races have been upsy-turvy. But once again, it's the pole position master, Lewis Hamilton, who edges out his old teammate, Fernando Alonso, only 13 thousandths of a second in the end. That was incredible. Vettel 3rd. So basically the best 3 drivers of the decade, top 3. Of course, these guys battling it out during the early 2010s, and of course Vettel and Hamilton battling it out now. Ricciardo only just behind Vettel, so the top 4 separated by 10th. Verstappen 5th, Perez in 6th, Ocon 7th. So the Force India is doing really well, just ahead of Raikkonen. Magnussen again actually gets squeezed out by Raikkonen in the end, but Leclerc is 10th place, which is still really good, but this is the lowest qualifying of the year, I think. And Bottas even lower in P12. As we scroll down, you got the usual culprits at the bottom. But yeah, everyone's separated by less than a second. Unfortunately, Shadionics put in a really good lap, but because everyone's so tight around here, even so he's only a second and 1.1 seconds off the pace, he's still right at the bottom. So he's got some work to do in the race once again. But yeah, that's going to be it for the qualifying, and yeah, now on to the race. Did you make a mistake at the beginning?
Yeah, I think I broke too early into the second corner, and then I just lost a bit of time.
That's the thing with equal cars, man. You make one little mistake and you're toast, because everyone's separated by so little. Like there's like a 4-second spread, like normally, but less than a second spread now.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the top division of AOR. They normally separated by less than a second, right? And again, we're going to retire off the start so we can watch the action unfold into turn 1. Lights out, and away we go. It's a good start for Shadionics. You'll be careful, you might get a legal overtake because there's a yellow flag. So yeah, we're just going to pull off to one side. You see Hamilton actually leads from Sebastian Vettel, who's managed to jump Alonso. The 2 of them actually side by side now. As you can see, Alonso gets actually overtaken by Vettel. So it's actually the 2 championship rivals this year. Vettel and Hamilton, 1st and 2nd, but you can see there's actually an issue for Shadionics. I think he might have crashed or something.
I broke my front wing as someone came and pulled out to the left.
No, so it's not going well once again for Shadionics. It's not really a good season for him. Meanwhile, I think something to talk about, Perez has managed to get ahead of Max Verstappen. So yeah, the Force India is really pressuring the Red Bulls right now, which is I mean, Perez has been doing really well this pyramid. And yeah, Leclerc has actually lost the position to Romain Grosjean. So the Haas driver is also doing quite well. Of course, the usual culprits at the bottom. Even so, Gasly is quite near the bottom. So is Carlos Sainz. So I wouldn't really expect them to be down there. But you see Shadionics, unfortunately, already about 2 seconds off the pace. Because, what is your front wing? Is it orange or yellow?
Red.
Red. Oh, who brake checked
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't a brake check. I was on the inside, and then someone pulled out to the left, and then that just broke my front wing.
Meanwhile, at the front, there's less than 2/10 of a second separating Hamilton and Vettel right now, as both of these guys are battling it for the win. Alonso's already beginning to drop back slightly, but he's still in with a shout, as yeah, Vettel actually losing a bit of time to Hamilton there, and actually going to be being put under pressure by Alonso. As yeah, once again, Perez actually managed to keep his position over Verstappen, but Verstappen's all over the back of him. We're in 3 attempts to the corner, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a DRS train come lap 3, but I do think there will be a few overtakes. You can see Raikkonen's actually gained a position on Magnussen, I think. So now he is well, I know he probably actually no, I think he did qualify in 8th, and now he's all over the back of Ocon. So yeah, Ocon's already dropped off the back of Verstappen. So he's probably going to be easy pickings for the Finn if he's not careful. And looking down the grid as well, I mean, Leclerc is still at the points, and Bottas as well. I think he's lost a position from 12th place. Hulkenberg now, of course, in the middle, splitting the two front runners. But you can see Ocon just a bit too far ahead of Raikkonen. As you can see as well, with the top 3 are already beginning to pull away, as Alonso actually goes fastest, and he's at the back of the train. Right now, there's nothing to separate Hamilton and Vettel. There were less than 1/10 of a second as they crossed the line, and yeah, Hamilton's going to pull away a bit because of the dirty air, but they're going to close right up at the end of the lap. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is an overtake in the next few laps. What's the weather looking like? Is there anything we're meant to be expecting?
No, it's just dry overcast the whole race.
Okay, so it should be quite interesting to see what strategies each people adopt. But you can see there's already gaps beginning to open up. I mean, the main one is between Ocon and Verstappen. Of course, the top few just able to pull away. And of course, I think Ricciardo actually going to be put under pressure from Perez, because he has actually fallen off the back of the top 3. And we know how good Perez has been in this season. He's been really outperforming his teammate, which is quite unexpected, to be honest. As I would have thought there would be a similar level, if not Ocon slightly better. But here the top 2 are unsurprisingly pulling away. As you see, Vettel is actually closing right up to Hamilton now. Hamilton's going to have to go defensive. Vettel's going to pull to the inside. You don't want to go side by side through the chicane. And Hamilton just about backs out as Vettel takes the lead. But that's going to be losing them time. You can see Alonso's closed right up. And this might even allow Ricciardo to close right up. Or even Perez. Because Perez has actually managed to get Ricciardo. As you look at the front again, Hamilton will actually give up the position in the end. And Vettel is your race leader from 3rd on the grid. So yeah, as you turn on the telemetry, and you can see our movers and shakers now. You can see Perez and Vettel both gaining 2 positions, as Verstappen now gets past Ricciardo. So it's not been good for Ricciardo in the last few corners, and just like that, he's well off 4th place. And Perez finds himself in 4th place with a bit of a gap right now. So Perez once again looking at the podium, but the top 3 home and dry right now, as surely Hamilton will be looking for a move from Vettel. If not this straight coming up, it'll probably be on the long back straight, because there's a sort of double straight there. As you can see, Ricciardo as well, right on the back of Verstappen. So those 2 should probably also swap positions. As yeah, Raikkonen's actually got past Ocon now, so he can actually set off in search of the front runners. But you see Ocon still right on his back, but Raikkonen just a bit outside DRS, so he probably shouldn't be able to latch onto the Red Bulls just yet. As yeah, you can see now, I think again Hamilton's actually got past, and Alonso's got past Vettel, so that's the problem with the DRS race. And Alonso's going to look at Hamilton as well. Alonso's going for a double move, and just like that, Alonso actually gets hung out to dry, but he nearly made a double move, but well defended by Hamilton. He kept Vettel as well, so Vettel, just like that, he gained 2 positions at the start, and now he's lost 2 positions on 1 straight alone. As you see, Ricciardo's also got past Max Verstappen. Of course, both of them having got mugged by Perez, who's now well clear as the Red Bulls continue to battle. I think they did this in China as well, so it's just losing time, and Perez finds himself right on the back of this train as a result of the squabbling up front. So yeah, the battle for P1, Perez is now joined it, and then we got 4 different teams in the top 4. So really tight stuff there, and they're all separated by less than 2 seconds. As you see, something's happened to Kimi Raikkonen. He's down to P9 from P7, so he was ahead of Ocon. Now he's down to P9. You can see Romain Grosjean as well, just behind these guys. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, Leclerc, Hulkenberg, and Bottas will finish the train. As you can see, Ericsson's already beginning to fall a bit back, along with Hartley, and Van Dorn right at the back once again. But yeah, I mean, the surprise packages are probably Gasly and Sainz right now. But even so, Sainz did start well down the order, so he's done well to get a few positions he did. But considering he got top 5 last time, of course there was a double Renault podium, and expected him to be a bit higher. And of course Hulkenberg as well. I mean, yeah, P12 considering he got 3rd last time. You can see up ahead there's some more action, as I think Magnussen has had to go defensive or something. And also there's been another overtake for Ricciardo and Verstappen. So these guys just keep swapping positions, and Ricciardo's not quite going to get him back. So you can see Raikkonen as well has actually got Magnussen, but Magnussen's going to try to hold it around the outside. It's going to give him the inside line for this corner, and can Raikkonen hold it around the outside? It's actually going to be side by side through the next corner as well. The outside line doesn't really work through here, but Raikkonen's going to make it tries to make it work, and Magnussen just about gets ahead. So good racing there, but that's just going to be losing them a lot of time. And here you can see Magnussen's well behind Ocon now. So I don't know what's happened to Raikkonen. He was ahead of Ocon, and now he finds himself over 3 seconds behind. So yeah, that's not good indeed. And Ocon's actually all the way on the back of the Red Bulls now, who are now 3.5 seconds off the lead group. So yeah, these lead groups sort of working together. And there's actually not been any changes up front. Alonso actually beginning to get dropped by Hamilton. He's actually nearly out of DRS, and he only just gets the DRS in the end. Only just falling out of the second window just as DRS opened. So yeah, quite lucky there from Alonso. You can see he's all under attack from Vettel as well now. So yeah, you can see they're all going to go into the pits. So the pit window is open, and as they all go into the pits, this will be their one and only pit stop. And you can see the top 4 all into the pits. So this should be really interesting to see who gets held up. And you can see this is Sebastian Vettel, and he actually gets held a bit. So once again, just like in China, he gets held, but I don't think it's that bad. As he looks through the pits, and he can see it's quite hard to see from that angle. But I think Alonso's jumped all of them. Alonso's jumped Hamilton, and Hamilton's kept ahead of Vettel. And Perez has also got jumped. I think Perez has got jumped by I can't really see back there. It almost looks like he's been jumped by Ricciardo, and he has been jumped by Ricciardo. So disaster for the Force India boys in the pit lane. And so you look up front, you see Max Verstappen's actually going to take the lead as a result of everyone pitting. But yeah, all the front runners pitting is you see Shadi Onyx sets the fastest lap, and he's closing on Leclerc quite quickly. So of course Leclerc's actually fighting for pretty much the top 10 right now. So Shadi Onyx, if he could keep up this pace, I don't think he can stretch the tyres to the end, but he could actually be looking for a points finish after getting red front wing damage at the beginning. So I was looking quite good on that side. But once again, I think Shadi Onyx really needs points right now. He's actually not scored a point all season due to bad luck. But you can see Alonso's already caught up to the back of his teammate, and his teammate hasn't even made a pit stop yet. So this just goes to show how much stronger Alonso has been. But yeah, just when it was looking like it was really unlucky for Alonso, he's come back through the win last race, and now he's in the lead again after a lucky pit stop. So luck seeming to change hands. As you see, everyone stays out again. There's actually only a few pitters, including Max Verstappen, I can't even see, Max Verstappen, Ocon, and Kimi Raikkonen. So yeah, everyone else has stayed out, and you see Alonso's actually got quite a bit of a gap to Hamilton, but he's going to get stuck behind his teammate now, and this is not what he wants, because it's going to allow Hamilton to close right up. As you see Ricciardo and Verstappen are dicing it out on the exit, and who is this? This is actually Verstappen, who gets actually overtaken by Ricciardo, but he nearly makes the overcut work. And of course he is the front runners of the people who did do the overcut. So yeah, the Red Bulls and Ocon once again, and Perez is actually runs behind Ocon. So once again we have a Force India and Red Bull skirmish. So yeah, Sergio Perez losing out big time in the pits. You can see meanwhile up front you can see Grosjean actually leads Nico Hulkenberg. So these guys will surely be going into the pits. And Bottas is still finds himself behind these guys, and as he's staying up quite long, and you can imagine he's going to come out probably P14, P15. It's just not going well for Bottas right now, considering he was up at the front for the last few races, and he's actually nearly being overtaken by Ericsson, which is how bad it's going. And so you can see Ericsson's actually coming under attack from Hartley, but surely they're going to go, no they're not, they're staying out. So I don't know how, but these guys are making their tyres last, so I don't know what they're trying. As you see, it's actually yellow flags in sector 3, so it's actually Gasly who's actually collided with Alonso, and Alonso's off! Oh gosh, once again I was saying his luck was improving, and just like that, he's still ahead of Hamilton, even with a crash. Gasly's got a 5 second stop.
What the hell has happened here?
Smashing Alonso, and I think there's the chaos of the chicane as Shadi Onyx overtakes Leclerc and Raikkonen, and Alonso somehow is still in net P2 out of all this, but he's been smashed off by Gasly, and so luckily finds himself only just behind Hamilton. So just shows how well Alonso was doing. But Gasly getting involved in the front runners, and yeah, he's now definitely lost by a long way. But yeah, I don't know, I think it's all congested up again. At the front you see Ocon's managed to get ahead of Ricciardo and Verstappen, so I don't know what's happened there. And Ricciardo finds himself 4 seconds back, so there's really been chaos at the chicane. As Shadi Onyx finds himself up a few more positions, he's already going to be in the back of the Red Bulls. Something has happened, and I mean, I didn't catch it, but there must be absolute chaos at the chicane.
I think they've all got front wing damage.
Yeah, because they're all going really slowly. As Shadi Onyx gets one, is he going to try to get the other as well? No, Verstappen actually fights back. Verstappen barging his way past once again, but yeah, I don't know, they're all going unusually slowly, so there might be front wing damage, and this could really shape the race. As you see Ericsson stealing people, they're staying out, and I don't know But these guys are still staying out. So yeah, they're letting these ultra softs last for quite a long time. As yeah, you can see Hamilton now behind Gasly, and this is not where he wants to be right now, considering Gasly's already taken out Alonso, and of course caused a massive pile-up. But Alonso's in the pits. Don't say he has a drive-through, or has he got just have to pit for right? They might. Oh no, he has to pit for 1 ring damage, and Gasly's completely ruined Alonso's race. And just when it was looking like he could get another wing, Alonso is going to find himself well out of the points. So really unfortunate there for Alonso. As you can see, Vettel and Hamilton now will be the top 2, but Hamilton's now 5 seconds ahead of Vettel. So Gasly's really screwed things up for Alonso, and Hamilton now finds himself well ahead. But of course, with tons of people who have yet to pit still. So I don't know if these guys are on for a 2-stop, because that well be actually. I mean, Alonso could have just come in for a scheduled pit stop, but it didn't look like he was going in for a tyre change, for a wing change. But yeah, it almost looks like with these guys staying out so long and people pitting on lap 6, it almost looks like some people might actually be going for a 2-stop. So Hamilton may find himself outside the top 5 actually, and you might have the likes of Ericsson in a legit point position. Now Ocon is now on the back of Vettel. What's going on here? Vettel must have ring damage as well, because Ocon's overtaken the 2 Red Bulls who are now right in the back, and now he's going to overtake the Ferrari as well. And everything, there's absolute scenes right now as Ocon gains another position. And yeah, he's going to be side by side through the chicane, but he should have this as Vettel fights back, but no, Ocon gets the better of him. And Shady Onyx is going to be closing on to these 2 as well, as he's actually on ultra soft, so he looks like he's committed to the 2-stop as well.
Super soft.
Oh wait, you're on super soft?
Yeah.
Oh, so
I picked on lap 1.
So basically, there must be a glitch on my telemetry because it shows that everyone's on ultras. So maybe the front runners are actually on super soft. That would actually make sense. So if I actually have a look at no, it still says they are. Well, fine, yeah. So it says they are on the ultras. So they're just making it stretch for a goddamn long time. So yeah, you can see again as we have a look through the order, but surely Hulkenberg has to pit this lap as he comes onto the track from Grosjean, because it's lap 11. It's not like it looks like they're never going to pit at this rate. But it depends. Are they going to stay out? No, they finally go into the pits on lap 11. So it should be interesting to see where these guys come out. Of course, as the top 5 the top 8 will all go into the pits, and Hamilton will be relinquished into the lead. But right now, Ocon is now a net P2 after overtaking Sebastian Vettel. And I don't know what's happening to Vettel.
Where am I?
Shani Onyx could even be he could be a net P4 if you're taking it to the end. I don't know how.
Because it's Lucas.
And Alonso could even be still in the points after having to pit again. So I don't know what's going on. It's been a hectic race because everyone's into the pit. You see, people are going to be overtaking left, right, and centre. As you see, Alonso is only just coming through the chicane now. So all the people who stayed out are all going to be inside the top 10. So Shane Onyx actually finds himself P12 as everyone is pitted late. And I don't know if Sainz and Gasly have pit yet, because they still, I don't think they have, because Gasly still hasn't pitted because he's still ahead of Hamilton. And Sainz obviously hasn't pitted because he's far ahead, but Hulkenberg now and Bottas find themselves legitimately behind Hamilton. And this is for no leads. So I don't know what's been happening at the back, but the guys who stayed out have done an absolute strategy call. And it still looks like they're on,
oh crap. It didn't register me braking.
Ooh. So Shady Onyx has crashed with Vettel, but I've been an idiot. I forgot that the hypersofts exist, and all of a sudden I've realised why everyone stayed out so long. They've been on the ultras, and now they put on the hypers, and they're going to be absolutely blitzing past Hamilton. And Bottas, just like that, after starting 15th, finds himself in the net lead as Carlos Sainz and Pierre Gasly go into the pits, and Carlos Sainz could even find himself in a net podium. So all the people who started on the ultras, because they haven't been involved in the skirmishes going on in the chicane, they now find themselves literally in the top 5 as Carlos Sainz is going to come out. He's going to come out behind quite a few battles, and he's going to come out in what will be P6 in the end. But you've seen Bottas is now in the lead, and Hulkenberg is in second, and both of them are on the hypers. As we go back, we can see all the position takes. Hulkenberg up 15 positions, Brendan Hartley up 12, Bottas up 11. As you actually have a look at the tyres they're on, you see all of them are hypersofts, and Hamilton is the only guy inside the top 7 on ultras, and he's going to find himself under attack as Hartley moves himself up into a podium. I don't know what's happening this race, but Bottas somehow finds himself in the lead as all of the people who stayed out are now well and truly out in front. Shani Onyx finds himself P9, and he's on the hardest tyres. I mean, I forgot that the hypersofts exist, and all of a sudden he could even though he has a 5-second stop go, he still could be in the points because Vettel
5 seconds actually.
Oh, so maybe not, as Alonso actually overtakes Vettel. Alonso's back into the points and Optic having to have another front wing change. Alonso and Vettel, both pretty much out to the points. But yeah, all the guys in the Hypersofts now well out in front. You see even Gasly and Ericsson should be able to make some positions up now as Hulkenberg sets the fastest lap. He's gaining on Bottas, and after getting a podium last time out, he started 17th. We didn't think he was going to even get points, even after a good start, but now he looks like he could even be going for the win. And Hulkenberg...
Van Dorn's in 7th!
Yes, Hartley is in P3. Everyone who stayed out on the Ultras has literally jumped. I mean, Hamilton was in the net lead, now he's going to find himself maybe even in P7 at the end of it, because everyone's crewing up behind him. You can see Grosjean is actually all over the back of Hamilton. Grosjean's going to get Hamilton. Hamilton just can't defend with his Ultras, and he's going to come under attack from Carlos Sainz as well. And he's going to get both of them. Sainz is going to go for Grosjean as well. Grosjean doesn't give him any room in the end, but Sainz is only going for a double move. And Hamilton
right behind this pack.
Hamilton could even be overtaken by Van Dorn as well. Hamilton's going to try to go past Carlos Sainz, but man, you're on the Ultras, you're not going to be able to do much, as Van Dorn's already looking for a move. And Shane Onyx now finds himself on the back of this train on 12 lap old Supersofts. And yeah, all the people who literally started at the front, you've got Leclerc, Verstappen, all at the back, Perez, Ricciardo, and this race has just been turned upside down. The top 4, the top 5 even, are all outside, going to find themselves outside the top 5, as once again, Hamilton has been overtaken. And he's now going to be coming under attack from Stoffel Van Dorn. Van Dorn's going to pull to the inside. Hamilton's going to try to defend, but he can't defend. And he's going to soon drop to even P8. So Hamilton, Alonso, Vettel, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Raikkonen, all of the top starters, and now find themselves right at the back. And Bottas, Hulkenberg, and Hartley now find themselves right at the front. And Hulkenberg is gaining on Bottas. He put the gap down to 1.9 seconds. And Hulkenberg is going for the win, even though he's only got a few laps to go. And really interesting stuff going on now. And Hamilton's now going to find himself under attack from Shady Onyx, who could even get points right now, even so he's only a few seconds ahead of Alonso in that P10. Alonso has already pulled a massive gap on Vettel, and he's closing in on a rate or not on Esteban Ocon. So Alonso still could potentially get top 8, maybe even top 7, because Hamilton is struggling right now, and I think Hamilton definitely should have pit, because the Hypersofts are literally doing absolute bits right now, as Gasly's now going to overtake Vettel, and Gasly was right at the back. He caused the collision with Alonso, and now he finds himself behind Alonso on fresher tyres, so I don't know what's going on. There's battles everywhere, as all the front runners now find themselves at the back. This race is just being turned upside down. It's literally... I'm going to show you the graphics again. You see the position change. There's a bunch of greens, and it's not just like gaining by 2 positions. You've got 11 positions gained by Bottas, 15 positions gained by Hulkenberg, 13 by Hartley, 14 by Sainz, and all of these guys now find themselves in the top 5. Absolutely unbelievable. 11 positions gained by Shady Onyx, and then everyone else has either lost 10 positions or literally held position. It's absolutely manic, this race, as once again Shady Onyx is right at the back of Hamilton, but you see Esteban Ocon's caught up to these guys as well, so Ocon might have a look at Hamilton as well, as Shady Onyx goes up the inside. Hamilton's going to get forced out a bit, but he's going to hold the position from Esteban Ocon. But you see Alonso's already caught up to this train, and Alonso...
Force India on the straight.
Alonso's on a comeback drive as a Force India on the straights, and that's actually Sergio Perez. He's almost a lap down already, and he has actually had an issue, so this is going to spice things up even more, as it's going to be yellow flags. But Alonso might actually be able to get back inside the top 8, because he is on the freshest tyres of the bunch, as Hamilton is really struggling. I don't know what's happening to him, as Shady Onyx is now up into P7. It says there's actually Perez into the pit, so I don't know if he had a punch or something. So this race has gone from bad to worse, as literally all of the front runners in the championship are right at the back. I don't think there's a single one in the points, apart from Valtteri Bottas, who's going to be gaining tons from this, even after starting well outside the points. But yeah, Alonso not able to capitalise right now, and Shady Onyx is now going to slowly pull away from these guys. So Shady Onyx could even get points if you can pull a 5-second gap from the guys behind. Meanwhile, Grosjean is actually looking for P4 of Carlos Sainz. There's going to be another Renault, double Renault top 5. This time it's 2nd and 4th, and Nico Hulkenberg's closing in even more on Bottas. You can now see Bottas in front of him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So Hulkenberg's been driving better than Bottas. He's gained 15 possessions, and it's hard to choose the driver of the day, because of course everyone got screwed up with strategy, but it has to probably be I would say Nico Hulkenberg. Even if Alonso can get back inside the top 8 after all which has happened to him, I would probably give him the driver of the day, because right now he's right behind Hamilton, and yeah, he actually has a chance to get inside the top 8, and this is what should have been the battle for the lead. But now there's the battle for 8th place after all the people who pit late now find themselves up in the front, and this has been an absolute manic race, turned upside down. I didn't even know what was happening at the chicane, but it's been enough to lose these guys about 10 seconds to the guys ahead. But you can see now Alonso is going to surely get Hamilton, and it's like the final lap has begun, so this is going to be the final lap. It's going to be his penultimate chance to get Hamilton. He's going to get him around the outside, and that should be done and dusted. And Alonso gets up into P8, and he, after coming back from such a poor turn of events after crashing with Gasly, he definitely deserves my driver of the day.
He overtook Ocon as well.
Yeah, and Ocon now finds himself in P10, but Ocon could even get Hamilton as well, so Hamilton could find himself at the tail end of the top 10 as Alonso's already pulled a second out. This car is absolutely on fire, but he's going to be slightly too far.
Where am I going to finish, do you know?
Well, you're 5 seconds ahead of Alonso, but if you got 10 seconds of penalties, right now you will still be outside the points, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Van Dorn, can he get Grosjean at the end? As Hulkenberg is within 8-10 to Bottas. He's closed the gap right down, but it's not going to be enough. Give it 1 or 2 more laps. Hulkenberg could have got the win, but it's going to be Bottas in the end. Hartley is going to get a podium from Carlos Sainz. Grosjean in P5, Van Dorn P6. Shadionix will be T7, but he should be exonerated because of the penalties. Alonso will be P8 in the end, a stunning drive, and Ocon just can't get to Hamilton in the end. And what a race!
No, 11th place.
Completely turned on its head, and unfortunately Shadionix doesn't get points with that 10 seconds of penalties, but he did well to come back. But Hartley on the podium, and that's something you couldn't expect to see, and that's an absolute manic race. I don't even know what happened in this the chicane between Gasly and Alonso, but it triggered, well, I don't even know, because all the people on the high ultras out front just had a clean race out front and came out right behind the leaders and were just able to pull away at the front, and yeah, as a result, Bottas will get the win after starting so far back. Hulkenberg as well, gaining 15 positions, so what a race. As we look at the final standings, Bottas in the end winning by less than a second over Hulkenberg, who just amazing.
3/10.
Oh, unfortunately, Shadionix misses out on Gasly by 3/10. Gasly recovering to points as well. Hartley P3, Carlos Sainz in the end P4 after starting right at the back. Romain Grosjean P5, Van Dorn P6. Alonso recovers to P7 after all the incidents which pursued him. And of course, he's the best of the two-stop runners as well. Ericsson, after all which is given to him, he had a perfect opportunity, was on the perfect strategy. Hartley got P3, and he still came P12. That is absolutely shocking. Even Van Dorn came P6.
Oh no, that's my fault, that's my fault.
Oh, what happened?
Oh no, I crashed into Leclerc.
Yeah, so I don't know what Ericsson's got to do with anything.
Ericsson's just useless.
Leclerc's right at the back as well. Vettel, Ricciardo also at the points. Verstappen, Perez as well. So it's been a race to forget for all of them. And as we go into the standings, everything's changed. You can see there's a bunch of arrows, and I don't think anyone's kept the position. I can't see anyone who's held position apart from myself, and of course I'm spectating. Everyone's moved a position. This is incredible. Now you find Bottas and Hulkenberg after winning the race, coming second respectively, and now first and second in the championship. Leclerc and Hamilton have fallen to second and third, but they're still in with a shout. Alonso's climbed to P5, even after all the incidents. He could have been in the leads, for goodness sake, if he just had some luck. Vettel's fallen to P6, Ricciardo P7, Perez P8, Sainz P9, and it's all over the place. Goodness me, Max Verstappen P10. I'm almost losing my voice right now because it's so exciting. Grosjean, Hartley, even Hartley's in the top 12 for goodness sake. He's had Raikkonen somehow. Ocon with 10 points, Van Dorn with 8, and right now Gasly. Of course, he wasn't able to capitalise on this race, so he finds himself in P16, and unfortunately, Ericsson and Shadionix, the only two not to score. And as you look in the constructors,
I'm Magnussen.
It's not quite as manic as you can see. Mercedes still in front, but Renault moved to P2 after 2 top 5 successive finishes, and Sainz and Hulkenberg have been doing all the right strategies, and they now find themselves well ahead in the battle for P2. Red Bull now find themselves ahead of Alfa Romeo, as once again the useless Ericsson can't do anything, and once again unfortunately Leclerc finds himself in all the skirmishes And you can see Ferrari as well, just behind them. McLaren move up to P6 as a result of Alonso basically carrying the team. And Force India will be P7. But this completely turns the championship on its head. And so much for our investigation to find the best driver, because this has completely destroyed it. But yeah, that's going to be all for this episode. See you next time. I don't even know what track it is. I imagine it will be something like Austria. So actually probably France. So see you then.